This module is intended to enable learners to understand the role of forests in the global carbon cycle, learn about the impacts of climate change on forests, examine the importance of forest management in mitigating the impacts of climate change. Also identify the challenges and opportunities for sustainable forest management in the context of climate change. The relationship between climate and forests is complex and multifaceted. Forests play a significant role in regulating the climate. They act as carbon sinks, which means they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Forests are responsible for absorbing about a quarter of the carbon dioxide that humans emit every year. So, protecting and managing forests is important for addressing climate change. Also, forests play a crucial role in the global carbon cycle, and climate change is already affecting forest ecosystems around the world. This module will provide an overview of the complex relationships between climate and forests and will explore the role of forest management in mitigating and adapting to climate change. Climate change and forest management, SDGs interconnectedness. Climate change and forest management are connected to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs. The SDGs are a set of goals that were created by the UN to address the world's most pressing issues, like poverty, inequality, and climate change. Several of the SDGs relate directly to forest management, including Goal 13 on climate action, Goal 15 on life on land, and Goal 16 on peace, justice, and strong institutions. The connection between forest management and climate action is SDG 13. Forest management can help to mitigate climate change by storing carbon in trees, soil, and products. Additionally, sustainable forest management can help to protect ecosystems from the impacts of climate change, like drought, flooding, and wildfires. This in turn can help to reduce poverty and hunger, which are SDGs 1 and 2. In this way, the SDGs are interconnected and mutually reinforcing. Climate action and life on land, or SDG 15. Forests are home to many plants and animals. When forests are managed sustainably, it can help to protect biodiversity and prevent species from going extinct. This is especially important in the face of climate change, as some species are more vulnerable to its effects. So, protecting forests helps to support both climate action and life on land. The connection between forest management and SDG 16 is about peace, justice, and strong institutions. When forests are managed sustainably, it can help to create jobs and support local economies. This can reduce poverty and conflict, which are important for achieving SDG 16. It can also help to ensure that the benefits of forest management are distributed fairly and that local communities have a say in how their forests are managed. In addition to SDG 13, 15, and 16, several other SDGs are related to climate change and forest management. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, is related to climate change, as water scarcity and pollution are expected to increase with climate change. SDG 7, Affordable and Clean Energy, and SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, are related to climate change, as they focus on reducing emissions and promoting sustainable urban development. SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production, is related to climate change and forest management, as it aims to reduce waste and promote more sustainable practices. Significance of climate change mitigation. The significance of climate change mitigation is that it can help reduce the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, which is important for slowing down global warming. Forest management is just one type of climate change mitigation. But there are others as well, like renewable energy, energy efficiency, and reducing emissions from vehicles and industry, IPCC, 2018. These different approaches all play a role in trying to keep the Earth's temperature from rising too much. Some benefits of forest management as a climate change mitigation strategy include 1. To improve air quality, trees absorb pollutants like nitrogen oxide and ozone. Also, it can help reduce the risk of wildfires by creating more fire-resistant forests. 2. To support wildlife habitats and biota, because a healthy, thriving forest provides a home for many different species of animals and plants. A diverse forest ecosystem is often more resilient to climate change than a less diverse one. Forest management can help to maintain or restore this diversity, which is important for the overall health of the environment. Different ways in which forest management can support biodiversity are through practices called 1. Mosaic old growth. This involves creating a mix of different forest types within the same area. For example, you might have areas of old-growth forest, areas of young forest, and areas that have been partially harvested. This diversity helps to support a wide range of wildlife species, since different species prefer different types of forests, WWF, 2019. 2. Adaptive management. This is a strategy where the forest is managed in a way that can adapt to changing conditions, like climate change. For example, a forest might be managed to allow trees to migrate to new areas as the climate changes. This helps to ensure that different species have the habitat they need to survive and thrive. Adaptive management is a really important part of forest management since it can help to ensure that the forest is resilient to future changes. WWF, 2019. 3. Ecosystem services. This is the idea that a healthy forest provides many benefits to people, like clean air and water, recreation opportunities, and more. WWF, 2019. In addition, forest management can provide many benefits to people as well as the environment. For example, it can create jobs for people who work in the forest, like loggers, foresters, and ecologists. It can also help to support local economies by providing timber, paper, and other forest products. Roles of forestry in climate change mitigation. There are several roles that forestry can play in mitigating climate change. 1. By sustainably managing forests, we can help to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is because trees absorb carbon dioxide as they grow, and store it in their wood and leaves. When trees are cut down or die, the carbon they've stored is released back into the atmosphere. If we can ensure that forests are managed sustainably, we can reduce the amount of carbon that's released into the atmosphere. IPCC, 2018. 2. Use of wood products as a renewable alternative to fossil fuels. Using wood for fuel or building materials can help to reduce our reliance on coal, oil, and natural gas. Also, by using more wood products, we can reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that's emitted from manufacturing and transporting these materials. So, forestry can help us to move away from fossil fuels and towards more sustainable alternatives. U.S. Department of Energy, 2017. 3. Use of forest carbon sinks. A carbon sink is any area that absorbs more carbon dioxide than it emits. This can include forests, grasslands, peatlands, and even the ocean. By restoring forests, we can increase their capacity in more detail as carbon sinks. IPCC, 2018. How can forests act as carbon sinks? When trees photosynthesize, they use carbon dioxide from the air to make their food. This carbon dioxide is stored in the tree's wood and leaves, taking it out of the atmosphere. Then, when trees die or are cut down, some of this carbon dioxide is released. However, if the tree is used for a long-lived product like lumber, the carbon is stored in that product for a long time. Additionally, forests can store carbon in their soil and in the plants and animals that live there. So, by protecting and restoring forests, we can ensure that they're functioning as carbon sinks. And, as a result, we can reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which helps to slow down climate change. In conclusion, climate change is one of the greatest challenges facing the world today, and it will require a multifaceted approach to address it. One important piece of the puzzle is forest management, which can help to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This module analyzed the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, and provided a framework for addressing climate change. And forest management can play a role in achieving several of the SDGs. Furthermore, forest management can also help to protect biodiversity, which is another important aspect of the SDGs. Forests are home to a wide variety of plant and animal species, and many of these species are threatened by climate change. By managing forests in a sustainable way, we can help to ensure that these species have the habitat they need to survive. In addition, forests provide a variety of other benefits, such as clean water, recreation, and cultural and spiritual value. All of these benefits are interconnected, and they are all important parts of achieving the SDGs.